finds the score. One that everyone points to and asks what makes a good or classic rivalry in college football. The Scarlet and Gray against the Maize and Blue. Two diametrically opposed programs who will meet again to continue a rivalry that has had everything from Heisman statements to pepper spray at midfield. Welcome to the home of the Ohio State Buckeyes, Columbus, Ohio, and the old horseshoe on the banks of the Olentangy. As we'll see, a playoff team from last year, the Michigan Wolverines, taking on one of the participants from last year's playoff, the Ohio State Buckeyes. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. And the Buckeyes will get us started with the opening kickoff. That one bounds through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Challenge this crowd to bring the energy, and I'd say they're doing that. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. Try to hit him with a quick game on first down, and nothing doing there.
Nice job by the defense suffocating this offense. They were ready for it. Nice job getting them on the ground, making a tackle. Here we go. This offense is trying to do something, trying to get some momentum, right back on the ball, running the no-huddle.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the wideout. Got him downfield.
That's a really nice pass. You can see why this guy right here gives the Michigan faithful reason to be optimistic. You know, for years we know Michigan has always been good at running the football, but they've got to be able to throw. They've got to be more consistent, making big plays through the air. This guy gives them that chance.
Wants to go up top on first down. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Hey, man, if you're going to force incompletions when the QB's throwing to the tight end, you better be physical. Nice job with the hit, forcing that incompletion.
This crowd trying to make life miserable for this offense. Off play action. Right down the middle. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
How nice is it to have the home crowd going absolutely bananas? Communication is harder. The snapping the football, everybody being on time. Man, this crowd really affecting the football game.
On third and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Complete to the right. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
From the gun, they'll try to impose their will. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. The emotions and energy figure to be high all day, guys, because of what's at stake this late in the season. Really a must-win for both teams.
And these are the ones that get your blood moving, Reese. You get jacked up, man. We don't have to say anything in the locker room. Give these big...
There he goes! Knocked out of bounds. They're in the red zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up.
That's what's so scary about this offense. They've got guys in the perimeter that can change the game in one single play, and you saw it right there. Too much speed on the perimeter to create that explosive play.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Second down, he'll throw it. Bring in the heat. Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues.
so nice to have a QB under center. Nowadays in football, you can trust these guys. You put so much on their plate, and you tell them they'll get positive yards when it's there. And a lot of these guys are such great athletes, they do it with ease.
In the gun and looking to throw on third down. That was almost picked off, and what a disaster that would have been to throw a pick on the opening drive. Instead, it's fourth down.
If they're able to make that pick, they're wiping points off the board. But because he dropped it, now it's fourth down, and of course, they're still in field goal range with an opportunity to score 3.
This offense has moved into plus territory, and they want to keep the heat on. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on fourth down.
And listen, I have no problem being aggressive on fourth down, but the consequences are that now you got to have your defense go bail you out. So you started the game trying to be aggressive. Well, defense, you got to get my back now.
Here comes the heat. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line.
Well, it wasn't great field position to start with, and it's getting worse now. The defense gets a sack. They're getting aggressive up the field. They get to the QB, and they're sending a message.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Under heavy pressure, lets it fly. Picked off. What a play to set him up.
Man, that's not the attempt you wanted to start the game. First pass of the game, interception. Man, just this is where you go over the sidelines. You have a good talk with your coach. You settle down. It's not the end of the world. It's one pass, but that is not the start he had in mind today.
Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the tight end. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
They say tight ends are a quarterback's best friend in the pass game because think about it. The tight end's the guy lined up closest to the quarterback, which means generally those are the easiest throws a quarterback has. You saw it on that play.
And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
My job is to make sure that ball comes loose, and I got to go through that guy, use my shoulder pad, drive my feet, really be physical, because if he bobbles it at all, or as soon as his hand gets to the ball, you can tell the difference when that body jerks forward and that ball starts to come loose and pop out.
The RPO, it's complete. Huge game before he goes out of bounds, and now they've got it first and goal. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
They're able to find the tight end for an easy completion, but good job tackling, not allowing him to get the first down.
Defense rolls up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a second and long coming. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It's looking like they're going to have to throw this one in now on third down, David. And you know the execution just has to be spot on. Timing especially at the quarterback position here.
And thinking about the defense, they're aggressive in these situations. They're going to play man. They're going to play uptight on you. So I know that. Now how do I counterpunch and attack this defense?
They'll try to pass it in on third and goal. Under fire. He felt the heat trying to get away, but down he goes. He'll lose a yard or two.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked one time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
Let's see if the offenses can find a little rhythm as we start the second quarter. And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal. This crowd trying to do its part to get inside the kicker's head. And this one sails through just inside that left upright. And the first points of the day come on that field goal. After putting up the field goal, they're set to kick it away. These two first squared off in 1897, and this rivalry is almost like a history of the sport itself.
So much history, so much tradition. I can go back to 2006 when they were 1 and 2 in the country. You know, like, these games really matter. The uniforms are clean. The athletes are flowing. There's tons of athletes all over the place. This is always a huge showdown.
And you think about some of the great coaches that have graced the sidelines in this rivalry. Bo Schembechler at Michigan and Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And it's amazing, in a conference full of trophy games.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes as an offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
The Buckeyes have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. Tosses it incomplete.
And there's so much for a quarterback to think about. Stick it out in the belly. Do I pull it? Now when I pull it, I got to get my feet set, make an accurate throw to the right guy. So a lot of things going on, and I think that you saw that led to a little bit of inaccuracy.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, backed up inside their 20. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down.
Well, this defense was ready for go balls. It's against this receiver and his speed. He's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up. And if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Not able to pop the big return, but they've got the ball back and ready to go with a fresh possession. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Always good to get points on a drive, David, but chip shot field goals can leave you a little empty.
Yeah, I think it's great to get points, but the great teams get touchdowns in the red area. You got to get out there this time and execute a little better on this drive.
You're absolutely right, David. Generally, the best red zone offenses are the ones that run the ball the best. So, let's see if they can be a little bit more physical on this drive.
Looking to fire. Going to try to pop one on the screen. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, if you want to be overzealous, if you want to be a blitzer all the time, I like running the screen right behind him. Did a great job throwing the screen. Almost broke this one for a long game, but it just keeps the defense a little bit more honest if you want to start bringing a lot of pressure.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on 3rd down. And the incomplete pass will bring up 4th down.
On a 3rd and short like that, you just have to have great chemistry between the quarterback and his receiver. They just couldn't get on the same page. Now it's a 4th down.
First one of the day is booted away. They ran him out there 4 times in the victory last week. They'll put that return to a stop at the 33, but the offense set up in pretty good field position. Looking to throw on 1st down. He's got it on the outside. He's loose. Touchdown, Ohio State. A great catch and run for 6.
Big-time players make big plays in big games, man. It seems like each and every week when this guy has an opportunity in the end zone, he's coming up with the big one. That time, great job focusing and concentration. Defense not able to cover him. That's his now 10th receiving touchdown on the year.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Dynamite matchup this week in CUSA, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Houston is ahead right now, but that's not quite Andre Ware or even David Klingler under center today. This one is a long way from being over. They're up by just 2 over Cincinnati. Implications galore inside CUSA, and we'll circle back should anything big happen.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. And here comes the Michigan offense back on the field. They've been pretty much stifled on offense so far, David, only able to muster 3 points in their previous 3 drives.
And you got to find a way to open this up and create some explosive plays. The passing game is obviously the easiest way. Jesse, put more speed on the field. Find those guys down the field.
You know they're frustrated, too, because they felt like there were some matchups they could take advantage of to get some points on the board early. In this one, they just haven't been able to connect on those opportunities. But I like David's idea. Maybe move some guys around and see if you can create some better one-on-one matchups.
We talk a lot about Michigan building its offense around the running game, but they've always had an effective quarterback who can make plays down the field.
And I think some people hear effective, Reese, and take that as an insult, right? Like, I don't want to hear about my quarterback being effective. I want him to be explosive. I want him to be dynamic. But Michigan doesn't really have those guys most of the time at that quarterback spot. But when they find those good ones, they have great seasons.
Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. Try to make up for some of that lost ground on 2nd down. Back to pass. Here's a heat. Incomplete. He had to get rid of him before he wanted to. The defense put the heat on.
We just have not seen this offense look very sharp so far in this game. Running or throwing it. In the second half, throwing it specifically, I think they need to find a better rhythm. Got to find a way to get some completions strung together.
Hang on, Sloopy. The Buckeye crowd alive on 3rd down. They just keep firing. Unloads to the wideout. Put it where only his man could get it and gave him enough room to get the foot down. He's out of bounds after a big pickup, but there's a flag on the field, and this might be coming back. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. He's got the back in the middle. And he was able to shed a tackle and pick up the 1st down before they finally get him on the ground.
And I love the angle route, whether it's man or zone. If you throw it with timing and you wait for it to develop, most of the time it's going to come open. Great job by the quarterback seeing it, hitting the running back.
To the air on 1st down. Pocket breaking down. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. No real chance on the return, but they've got it at the 34.
And some defensive backs just have a way of finding the football. He's starting to develop that. His 3rd interception on the season, just has a good feel for playing that spot in the back end.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Sends it back in motion. Looking downfield on 1st down. It's on target and complete. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. So now it's 2nd and long. Goes to the option. This freshman makes the stop after a short gain. They'll take this lead to the 2-minute timeout and see if they can tack on a little more before the break. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. Now the play fake. Unloads to the right. But that one falls incomplete, trying to get a chunk play on that one.
I think for the quarterback, he's going to have to be so good with his eyes in this game. You're going up against one of the best defenses in the country. You've got to look guys off, especially when you're trying to throw to your primary target like he was on that last one.
The Buckeyes will try to pin them back with the punt. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. And the punt team gets down there and gets the return man on the ground. They'll get this drive started from the 29. Looking to throw on first down. Throwing right. He's got it. Ridden out of bounds at the 45. A big play for this offense.
And I tell you what, all this spread offense, man, it's really accentuated receivers in so many different shapes and sizes. But this guy, they're going to find him. They're going to find him early. They're going to find him often. He's made so many plays throughout the season and really been the feature of this offense.
Oh, a lot of space. A huge gain on that one before he ran out of bounds, and he has the first down.
This guy has a chance to bring home the Heisman Trophy this year because he continues to make plays week in, week out. Doesn't matter who's guarding him, what coverages you play. This guy finds ways to make plays for his offense.
Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Wolverines.
Well, this offense is top 10 in the country in points per game because they've got a lot of speed and they've got home run hitters. They score fast. They don't need 10 plays to go down the field. You saw it right there. They've recruited well. They've got playmakers. They're going to be a problem for defense all year long.
There's so many great rivalries in college football, guys, but I think this one, because of the disdain and the excellence, sort of rises to the top.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there are great rivalries scattered all around this country. In-state rivalries, interconference rivalries, a great history, great pageantry. But I think what makes Ohio State versus Michigan unique is the fact that more often than not, these are two teams competing for national championships at the end of the year. And this game really does determine the national landscape.
And 19 national championships between the two teams. Late in the year, it always matters. You go back to 2006, #1 versus #2. So always disdain, always hate. Don't even call each other by their names. Like, this rivalry means so much to college football.
Back to throw, time running short in the half. Quickly out to the tight end. Gets it to the 37. Clock stops to move the chains. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. The option look. He'll pitch it. Passes takes him still on his feet. And they'll ride him down, but not before he picks up the first down. And how about the timing on that pitch? Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. And the Buckeyes come to the line with a new set of downs. Wants to go up top on first down. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
Nice job by the quarterback trying to buy time and scrambling to the right, but it was the hit that forced that incompletion.
Behind the chains now on 2nd and long. They'll throw again after the incompletion. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum. Takes it the other way. Touchdown, Michigan. What a play. Not only the interception, but the great return for the score.
Yeah, and the free safety roaming the middle of the field, you can see just reading the quarterback's eyes. And how about the break on the football, taking a great angle to pick it off and then do some damage and make the big play for this defense to score some points.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That ball skips through the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 25-yard line. We'll see them really hit the speed button on the tempo here in the final minute of the first half. Going right to work up top. Flushed out of the pocket. Takes a hit as he fires.
I don't care how talented you are as a quarterback, but your accuracy always goes down when you get hit. Nice job by the QB, scrambling, working to his right, but he wasn't completing that pass with that pressure.
After the incompletion, it's 2nd and 10 from their own 25. They get to him as he throws. Can't make the connection. The pressure there caused the mistiming.
And you get more and more hits on the QB like this right there. More and more making him scramble out of the pocket to the right. That's winning. He's going to start to see ghosts. He'll start to panic. He'll start to speed up that processor. Nice job by the defense making that quarterback feel very.
Unloads it downfield. And that'll be incomplete. They certainly weren't afraid to take a shot there. Now it's 4th down. The Buckeyes will bring the punt team onto the field. He'll try to really get into this one. Touchdown Wolverines! Stealing a score on special teams.
Well, this offense is clicking. They've been doing it all first half, running the ball, throwing the ball. They had insult to injury with another touchdown here right before teams go into the tunnel. This defense, guys, they have got to find some answers, and they've got to regroup here at halftime.
Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. Coming out with it, it's Hardy. That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. One more snap coming before halftime. The pitch to the left. And after that short game, they'll head to the locker room for halftime. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Wolverines will boot away to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts
turning it on. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a first down at the 37.
Nice job decision-making by the quarterback there in the RPO, not handing it off, knowing he had to throw it, but then also understanding his open guy was going to be in the right flat.
Wants to throw on first down. Trying to make magic on the scramble. And a nice pickup on the line and gets down to avoid contact.
Well, I think you're starting to see some examples of why this guy is inexperienced in a freshman quarterback, right? Obviously, he's thrown a couple picks earlier in the game. That scramble right there, he's got to get down. He's got to take care of himself and slide. Great job, nice athleticism, good decision to take off scrambling and help his offense, but you really are seeing his inexperience shine through here in this game.
Here's the handoff. And he's able to shed one tackle and gets a pretty good pickup.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Out of the gun, they'll run it inside. And they'll stop him just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
And that was a nice second down run and setting up third and inches. And now it's physical time, right? Like, they know you might run the football. You know you probably want to run the football. How can you be more physical? Sometimes bring some extra bodies, some extra tight ends in. Go to that play that you know is your short yardage play.
If every journey begins with a step, this offense needs to step into a third down conversion and then try to turn it into some scores, and fast.
I don't need it to be pretty. I just need my inches. Third down and inches. Nice job by getting the first down. Always fall forward, play physical. Don't get east and west. Stay north and south. Nice job by the running back.
Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. And that is interception number 3 on the day. Looking for more room. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return. So here comes the Michigan offense. From the gun, the ground game. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
And you're seeing on both sides really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Now facing a third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads it left. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
Well, this is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're 4th and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of...
It's a fake. He's going to throw it. Here's the pressure. And it's caught. Can he get it to the sticks? And he'll be stopped short, or maybe he stopped himself short.
We'll give the return team credit there because they were able to rally and get a massive stop. Now, the kicking team thought they had the perfect play. And they snap it to the up man. He sees his target downfield, throws the completion. Everything's going right. But the return team able to make a massive tackle. The gamble does not pay off, and that is a critical turnover on down.
And it's picked off for the 4th time today. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, coming out of the tunnel in the third quarter, this quarterback now is really struggling with his decision-making. 2 picks here in the third quarter. This looks like Jekyll and Hyde from what we saw in the first half.
Unleashes one deep. Touchdown, Michigan! And the stomping has commenced. They built a comfortable lead, and Michigan is firmly in control.
Hail to the victors has been playing. This team has handled the moment, handled the game, as well as any Michigan team we've seen. They know every year this will be a fight, but Michigan has brought it, and Ohio State hasn't responded.
And I think Michigan has just done a better job executing here in the second half. I love the way they've mixed in the run with the pass offensively. Defensively, they're doing a great job communicating. They're just the more locked-in team here late in the game.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. They face a pretty tall mountain here, Jesse, down 24, but if they're going to climb it, this is a good time to start.
Sense of urgency's got to be big right here. You just get the feeling at this point of the game, David, they've got to score on this drive. Obviously, their defense needs to get stops, but at this point, offensively, they've got to execute much better.
They got to be super aggressive. Down 24, you're going to need 3 touchdowns, 3 two-point conversions, everything to kind of go your way. So fast and throwing the football.
On second down, he'll try to make the connection this time. He takes a chance and fires it across the field. And that is his 5th interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from. They'll chase him out of bounds after that play, marking at the 16-yard line.
And the defender makes a great read, breaks on the football, and makes the big interception in the back end. Here's the thing, that's number 4 this season, so he's finding the football consistent.
To the end zone and is picked off. He goes down after the short return, but what a play to get the football back.
When you get in the red zone, you can see as a defense, you get into your drops really quickly and you get your eyes on the quarterback. And you try to read his eyes and break on the football. It's such tight windows to throw in. Great job by the defender breaking on the ball, creating the interception.
The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. This thing has sort of gotten away the last couple of possessions. They've been a little too generous, David.
Yeah, like a non-profit.
And the quarterback brought up 2 and sacked at the 12.
And listen, the quarterback drops back, and he's going through his progressions. We see zone, but just couldn't do anything about it. This defensive line, this pressure, getting to the quarterback, getting him on the ground.
Back to pass on 2nd down. Got his man on the right. And they'll knock him down.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there. I know you're going to catch it, and I can depend on you.
Trying to move the sticks on 3rd down through the air. And that one's incomplete.
This is a situation here in the 3rd quarter this offense did not want to be in, facing a top 10 defense, one of the best units in the entire country. They didn't want to get down on the scoreboard like this and all of a sudden have to throw the football when the defense knew that was going to happen. The incompletion there is not a big surprise. This defense knows what's coming, and it's all because of the points right now on the scoreboard.
Blasted as he lets it go. And they can't connect. A costly turnover on down.
And I get it. At this point in the second half, dude, we got to make something happen. We haven't been good enough. We got to score a lot of points, and quickly. You got to be aggressive. They tried. They failed again. This game is all but over.
Complete to the right. Touchdown, Wolverines. And they take it in for 6 more points. The offense did exactly what it's supposed to do with a start like that one.
When you're set up with that field position, you're thinking touchdowns. You're not thinking field goals. It's exactly what the offense does. Takes advantage of great field position.
And they tacked on the extra point. Kickoff unit back to work, and they have been busy as they've built this sizable lead. He'll bring it out. It's Hardy. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes... have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. First snap of this drive will come from inside the 15 at their own 14-yard line. First play of the drive wants to throw. Might be looking to run. Throwing on the run. And they can't make the connection, going for a big play on 1st down.
And at this point of the game, just can't say enough about how good the defense has been covering this guy. Coming into the game, they knew he was the critical factor for this offense with his skill set, but they have really been able to shut him down. They forced another incompletion down the field looking his way. To me, that's one of the biggest reasons why they're winning this game.
And yeah, that's kind of surprising. And we talked about this before the game. One of the big matchups. Run the football against a defense that's been susceptible against the run throughout the season. But this offense just can't find a way to get it going. And I'm surprised, but now what's your counterpunch? How are you going to get the ground game going? Because so far, not a lot of success.
Man, this sophomore quarterback unleashed a cannon on that one. This dude is just exceptional in every facet. So fluid, such a great route runner, and a big play there.
And money down, third down, find him. I mean, you want to find that matchup because he's going to win and gets a good release, gets down the field. You see that's your playmaker, that's your guy. Get it to him, get the first down.
We've reached the end of the period, and Michigan has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. So the final period starts with a second down play. Wants to go up top. A little screen to the running back. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against a defense playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You got to take shots offensively.
Oh, he wants it all. Makes the grab at the tag. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Buckeyes! In a lot of losses, you just want to burn the tape. You don't want to watch it. But I think there are some things that they can take into next week from this performance.
No doubt. Offense is about finding your rhythm, finding your groove, what you do well. And you can tell, at least now, starting to get a little something going that maybe you can build on.
He's got the tight end. He's not quite going to get there, and the try for two fails, and they are unable to cut into this lead any further.
And they try to pass forward, and they complete the pass, and you just need a little second effort, something to break a tackle and maybe get in the end zone, but they weren't able to get it.
That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick.
Well, great job by the hands team receiving there. They're able to spot the kick, fall on it, make sure they keep possession, secure it. Nice job.
They'll try to get the edge on the left. Breaks into the open. They get this sophomore on the ground, but he continues to make plays.
And the defense down in this game, they just can't do anything to stop this offense at this point, David. Right now, they know they're going to be trying to run the football and try and ice the game, but there's nothing at this point it seems they can do.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I got to sell out, man. I got to bring as many guys to the line of scrimmage as I can. I got to find a way to get this ball back to my offense. The clock is not my friend, and them running the football is only going to run this thing out quicker. I got to find a way to make something happen, strip the football, do something.
Looking left, and incomplete on the deep ball. Fourth quarter, huge lead. I'm not really sure why you need to take that kind of shot.
You don't. You definitely don't need to. You can run the clock, you can run the football, you can make sure that you're playing it safe and conservative, or you can just go for rub it in your face, eat that. You know, I don't like the other coach.
He's missed 3 in a row now with that last incompletion.
And that's a play on third down. This offense just has to do a better job protecting their quarterback. Give them a split second more time to complete that throw, but they couldn't do it there.
Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Fellas, it's hit triple zeros in a captivating game today in the American. UTSA delivered the knockout blow early in this one, en route to the type of win that can turn some heads there in the American. Trust me when I say the party is on in San Antonio. Never a dull moment when it comes to the American. Back to you guys.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Looking to throw on first down. And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. Touchdown, Michigan. And they turn it into a defensive score. They put up another score here in the fourth, and they are well on their way to an 11-1 regular season.
It's really hard as a quarterback because you got your eyes downfield, you're trying to find an open guy, you're trying to negotiate the rush, and all of a sudden people are swatting at the ball. They hit you, they knock it out. Got to do a better job next time of keeping two hands on the ball so you don't get it scooped and scored like what happened right there.
That gamble did not pay off as they bring him down at the 12-yard line. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. And he just flat dropped it. I think he wanted to run before he secured it.
Well, the defense really stepped up in this game. They knew they had to slow down this passing attack. They knew they had some matchups they were going to have to win one-on-one. They've been able to do that, and as a result, they haven't allowed 200 passing yards in this game.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Stands in and takes the hit. And he throws yet another interception. Does he know which colored jerseys they're wearing? They'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Hauls it in. They'll mark him down at the 2. The excellent execution on that throw and catch. This time they'll go to the running game. And he'll be stopped for no gain, still sitting at the 3-yard line. The Wolverines racing to the line in the hurry-up. Trying to pick it up on the ground. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. And the Wolverines will try to punch it in on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and beating the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming.
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Wolverines. That's what finishing the deal looks like. Build the lead in the fourth quarter and close in on 11 straight victories. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
Okay, here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. It looks as if this game is going to be one to just drag to the recycle bin, but the idea now is to finish strong and just take whatever happens in the rankings next week. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
And they get him again. This is a offense that you expect them to protect their guy. I mean, he is a dude that you know if you give him time, he's going to make plays, but this defense is making sure he's not getting that time. And this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
And he couldn't find quite enough running room to reach the line to gain.
It's nice for this D coordinator when he puts his nickel package out on the field because that nickel player he's got who subs in is good in coverage. He's also aggressive, and he does a nice job blitzing, and he can play the run. They can spy the quarterback. There's a lot of different tools this guy's got to defend against a mobile quarterback, and I think you saw a little bit right there in that nickel package now setting up 4th and long.
Throws to the wideout. Makes the catch, converts on 4th down, is still on his feet. And they finally make the tackle, but this will be a pretty easy conversion for this offense.
You got to give this quarterback a ton of credit because he showed tremendous confidence on that throw. That wasn't just trying to throw to the sticks. That was being aggressive and throwing it down the field. Not a high percentage throw, but he had confidence in his guy to win one-on-one, and they keep the drive alive.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Quarterback making checks. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. And his first throw here is incomplete. Let's talk just for a second about Ohio State. He's been under pressure all season, and they really haven't done much to turn down that heat. And it's just hard to imagine that this guy will be back leading this program next year.
Yeah, and you want to see him finish strong, and I think Coach needs him.
Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
Well, this defense thought coming into this one they could get after the quarterback, but I'm not sure, guys, if they thought they'd have this much success. Everything they've dialed up has gotten home. They've got 6 sacks in this game.
Down by multiple possessions, they can't come up empty on this drive in the fourth quarter. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. It's incomplete, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Offensively, this is a beautiful time now because now I get to get all my other guys in the game. Guys that don't get to play that much, we're up. This game's over after that missed fourth down conversion. Now we get to get everybody in the ball game, or if you choose, you know, like Jesse probably would, to go pad some stats and get some more catches, get some more rush yards if that's your thing.
The give as they work on that clock. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
I like the idea of going toss to the field, but you got to have better blocking by your wide receivers out there on the perimeter. They didn't get it done, and as a result, that's a negative play.
Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to fire. Throws toward the end zone. And give him another 6. Grabs it for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called, guys, offensively all game long or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. He'll start the return inside his 5. And the return man is stopped, and that'll leave it up to the offense on the next drive. Good news, I guess. A lot of room to work with as they start this drive from their own 15. He might want another play. To the air on first down. He wants a big play here late. Intercepted. Man, they just can't get anything going. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover. Michigan ready to get that offense rolling again. And now one of the most satisfying moments in football, just watching that clock drain away while you have control of the ball, Jesse.
And this is definitely one of the best play callers, right, for an offensive coordinator. Getting ready to go into victory formation. So many good things happened today. It seemed like everything he was dialing today, David, ended up working out.
No doubt. They put a lot of highlights together, put a great offensive game together, complete football game. They get the win. On to next week.
Get it out on the screen. Oh, he's got some space. The 20. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the O.
And he makes the extra point. Well, they didn't exactly milk the clock on that drive, did they? 2 plays and into the end zone for the touchdown. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He'll bring it back from inside his 5.
Returner is tackled down at
the opening play of this drive comes from the 11. Looking downfield on first down. Gets it to him on the screen. No sirree, not this time. The defense was there and ready for that one.
Well, the defense sniffed that screen out perfectly. All the D linemen, they were reading the body language of the offensive line. They knew something was up, and when the screen pass got thrown, they were right there to make the tackle.
The Buckeyes now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Looking deep. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Trying to take it back. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return. Guys, here come those maize and blue winged helmets on offense. Final minute, this game's on ice. They can take a knee and run out the clock.
This offense has to feel great with how they're able to go out, execute, and perform big plays all game long. I think it's sending a statement, too, to future defenses down the road on the schedule. They're going to be tough to contend with.
Yeah, I mean, they got firepower, putting up so many points. This thing is easily over. Now they can just chillax, go back to the locker room, know they're going to get the victory.
Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Man, what a spectacular play by that defensive end to come up with the tackle there.
And you see those guys get off the football so fast. Most of these guys are 250 to 275 pounds, but they get off the...
Quarterback can't pull the trigger, and down he goes at the 41. They cross out all of the M's on campus. They call them the school up north. But this year, Ohio State will have to call Michigan the victors in the game as they plant their flag in this rivalry for another year. That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.